Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and today I'm going to tackle a great big gnarly subject on how I prevent cancer. To me, this is a big topic. It's very controversial because we all know somebody who's been affected by cancer, who's no longer alive because of cancer. And to me, I feel like this is something that is preventable, and it's preventable on a really big level. But if you think about it, there's no money in you not taking charge of literally preventing cancer. Now, most of you probably know that the genetic component of you getting cancer is only about 5%. So, of all the people who have cancer out there, the people who actually cannot control the fact that they get cancer is only 5% of the population. And there's a genetic factor there. And I've seen people who are in that category, in that small, slim 5%, who've actually been able to make some serious lifestyle changes and apply the principles of epigenetics, which is the science behind being able to literally turn on and off our genes and control our health rather than being a victim of it, simply because they're learning and they're applying these principles that are very, very powerful. So there's a few things that I just wanted to kind of tell you about what I do personally to prevent cancer, because to me, it's so much easier to prevent than to wait until you get something and then work on the cure. So the number one thing that I think everyone needs to pay attention to is, of course, what you eat and what you put in your body, because we are biology. So if there's nothing else that you don't take any herbal supplements, maybe don't think you can afford any herbal supplements, uh, take all of that out of the equation and start really paying attention to the food that you put in your body. Your source. Is it organic? Is it made with love? Is it made at home? It doesn't have to be made in your home. Is it made at home out of a friend, of a family member? This is the way we prepare food together and eat it as a family is very, very, very important, because that is part of being a human. That's part of the human experience. And if I'm not saying don't go out and eat, because I love to go to a nice restaurant, but sometimes you just don't know the sourcing. And this is also a really good maybe wake up call if you are a fast food person. If you like to drive through the fast food, it's easy, it's convenient, it's cheap. This is one of those things that would be very good for you to break out of your comfort zone and stop eating fast food. And it's a lot easier to go 100% than it is to say, okay, I'm going to do this 95%, or I'm going to do it 99%, because then you have to make a decision. And this is, as we know, this is called decision fatigue, because every time, is this the time I'm going to do the 5%? Is this the time? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this time. But if you make the decision that you're just going to stop eating fast food 100%, then there's no decision that has to be made. If the situation comes up, um, and I don't know why, it's interesting to me because I actually have not had fast food. I don't even remember. It's probably been more than 15 years. Maybe more. I literally do not remember the last time I ate fast food. And it's easy. Like I don't even miss it. I'm not tempted. And there's fast food places everywhere. So once you make that decision to stop doing something or to start doing something, make it a 100% decision and make it for the rest of your life. Don't make it, I'm going to do this for 30 days, because you're setting yourself up for 30 days later. You're going to what? Now you're going to blow everything and go back to all your old habits. So that's a very important thing. Now, some of the things that also go along with lifestyle and eating are fasting. As modern humans, we eat from the moment we get up to the moment we go to bed. And there's just so much plentiful food. And part of the problem is this plentiful food is typically, especially if it's late at night, not very good for us. Our sweet tooth kicks in, that bowl of ice cream's calling our name, the bowl of cereal. And we think we deserve it. We think we deserve to eat food that's bad, that's comforting. And really, what you deserve is you deserve to take care of your human biology. So, what I would suggest you do with the whole taking down your amounts of food is start doing some fasting. You know, give yourself a chance, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, to do some intermittent fasting first, where you don't eat anything until maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, then move to 10, then move to 11, then move to noon, where you're only eating maybe from noon to 6, so you have a 6-hour window. But you don't have to start that way, and do that for 2 or 3 days during the week. And then once you feel really comfortable with that and that becomes a rhythm for you, then I would say once a month, do a 24-hour water only fast and just get your body and your mind used to that. And the break that you give yourself from food gives your body a chance to regenerate, rejuvenate, and to actually start healing you. And you would be surprised at the mental clarity and the energy that you have when you start giving your body breaks from food. So that is really super important. Now, things also like a full night's sleep, plenty of water, and here's a big one, exercise. These are all lifestyle factors that can make a huge difference in our body staying healthy and preventing cancer. So that's a big topic, and to me, that's the place to start. That's the very first place to start. And that, to me, once you dial that in, then what you do is you just live your life and you don't worry about it. In fact, one of the things that I don't really say it anymore, but I used to say it quite a bit, is that I don't believe in cancer. I don't and I had a few friends that thought I was crazy, and I haven't said that for a long time. But then they would say, "Well, how can you say that? How, that cancer happens to people all the time?" Well, the thing is this, we all have cancer cells in us, and those are just abnormal cells. And our immune system and the nutrition that we give our body, and sometimes when we stay away from all nutrition and give our body a chance to heal and cleanse and get rid of those abnormal cells, that's what our body does naturally. It knows how to keep us well. It recognizes when there's abnormal cells, parasites, viruses, funguses, yeast, and our body recognizes that it needs to protect us from those. We all have that because we're biology. So the way you take care of yourself really determines what your body is going to express. So when I say, I just can't put a lot of thought and effort into worrying about it, worrying about getting cancer, I mean, I really mean that. So I think everyone needs to find their mojo and what makes them feel good. But that is the way I do it. Now, one of the other big things that has to do with preventing cancer, in my opinion, is your emotions. Our emotions can put us in states of great health, or it can take us down where we are just in horrible health. And you can eat as clean as you want, and you can exercise, you can, do all the lifestyle things, get lots of sleep. If you're super stressed and you have maybe a super negative thought process, or you're totally fixated on the thought of cancer is in my family, I'm going to get cancer, or I ate this piece of cake, sugar causes cancer, oh, I drank a soda. You can't fixate on all these things without your body eventually expressing something. And I've actually had people tell me that they didn't feel they were worthy of being healthy because they see so much sickness and they just don't feel good enough or that they're enough. In fact, that is one of my friend Marissa Peer's best things that I think messages that she put out into the world is letting people know that just that mantra, I am enough. If you're alive on this planet, you are worthy of being vibrantly healthy. That's something definitely to keep in mind. So that to me is really huge. I also think that healthy relationships are important. And I think that having purpose and service, if you have a purpose in this life um, and you're serving others, this can really put your body in a state of health and well-being, and you're contributing to a community, which is super important. Now, as far as the supplements that I do, I'm not going to go into absolutely everything that I do because most of you, if you've watched my little supplement routine video that I did a couple years ago, I go into everything and I still do mostly all of that stuff. But there's a couple things that I do specifically on an medicinal herbal level for simple prevention because I have no health problems. And to me, this is just a routine I've gotten in and just the knowledge that I received from my dad while I was growing up. And now all the knowledge that I've gained over all these years as an adult. These are the things that are really important to me, and this is part of my routine. So I do some of our tinctures that I do SCAC 20, and I do E-Star, and I go through a big 4-ounce bottle every January and every July. And what I do is I just take it until it's gone. And sometimes it flows into February, and sometimes it flows into August when I'm doing it in July, which is fine. I travel with it. If I do travel with it, I get a smaller bottle and I take it with me because I definitely travel during the summer or even during the winter when I'm on this routine. And to me, that's made a really huge difference. Now, SEAC is a powerful anti-cancer formula. It also cleanses the blood and purifies the blood, and it just provides so many amazing things. It's kind of the way I like to look at SEAC is as a scavenger. It goes in and basically gets rid of any abnormal cells and helps protect me. And also, when I do this protocol in those 2 months, it reminds me to really dial in my nutrition. And it just kind of helps me stay on a really great pattern and helps me get back on my fasting routine if I've kind of broken off of it, especially during December. Sometimes I'll skip. I will skip doing some fasting, and fasting makes me feel so good. Now, the East Star, the reason I do East Star is because it's really, really good for your immune system. And what it also does it prevents cell mutation. So it provides anti-mutagenic benefits. And to me, that's exactly what cancer is cells that have mutated. And there's a nice herb in there, suma root, which helps to balance body chemistry, bring your body in homeostasis. So there's just such a nice blend of herbs in these two powerhouse formulas that for many, many years now, I just do this twice a year for prevention. That's probably the biggest thing that I do for cancer prevention. I also believe that the lomatium, the LDM 100, has been a big key for me because a lot of cancers are viral based and fungal based, and to me, that's just kind of acts as a nice little sweeper and keeps me good. And I actually just do that during cold and flu season or when I travel. If I travel during the summer and I'm not sick, I'll still do that just daily for prevention in case I get exposed to somebody who is sick, like on an airplane or if I'm out of country. Then to me, that's really, really important. Now, there's a bunch of other things that I feel like add to that, like turmeric. I feel like it's a powerful anti-cancer is a supplement. I think it's really important. But those are the main things that I would do. And I would suggest that you maybe take a look into adding to your routine, even if you do it once a year. If you're a super young person, you're in your 20s or 30s, once a year. Do this once a year and really habits compound and it just gets you in a nice rhythm. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, this is the perfect time for you to start dialing in your nutrition, dialing in your exercise. Make these your lifelong habits. You will feel so good in your physical body. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me see how I've been going almost 13 minutes. But I would love to hear from you and hear what you do. I know there's so many things out there, and this was just a little tiny snapshot of some of the things that I do and what I really believe is important. So remember, your nutrition is your number one tool to help you prevent cancer. So I hope you have an amazing day. As always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.